Imagine your child turns in a perfectly written essay in their school, but they didn't write a single word of it. No researching, no long hours spent learning how to write their thoughts. Just a few clicks and boom, AI does all the writing. That's not just happening in high education like college. Some elementary kids, some grade school age kids are using AI to write papers, solve math problems, even fake lab reports. And teachers can't keep up with all this rapid evolution. Today's episode is all about the future of parenting in an AI world. We'll cover how kids use tools like ChatGPT, why deepfakes are getting scarier, and what smart devices are really doing behind the scenes that you don't know about. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share a few rules and things that you can do, that you can employ, that will prevent or will solve 80% of the problems for only 20% of the effort. Welcome to the Parent Tech Support Show, where I empower parents with the tech knowledge they need to know to protect their kids online. My mission is to demystify parental controls, share practical tips, and reveal the tricks that kids use so that you can navigate the online world with confidence. I'm your host, Jack Hughes, and because I grew up in this age of digital devices, I've had plenty of experience with getting around parental controls and doing things that I wasn't supposed to. But now those days are over. Today, I use all the inside knowledge to help parents set up parental controls, give them expert advice, and I've done this with numerous other parents, and I've written and helped schools, and I've written books on this subject as well. So, getting into today's subject about how technology is evolving and how you can keep up with that, we're going on to the first section in this little presentation I have, and that is how AI is already in your child's life. So this is going to be about AI. So AI isn't something that's used by tech nerds like me anymore. It's built into tools that kids are already using. And you have kids are using ChatGPT a lot of days now. I mean, you have people in middle school, you have people from elementary all the way up to high school, up to college. So all these kids are using ChatGPT. Maybe not every single one of them, but a lot of them are using ChatGPT to write essays, to do all their homework, to answer their science problems. And most parents, and even some teachers, especially non-public school teachers and more private schools, don't really have any clue that this is going on. And they think that they only hear the headlines about AI. They don't know everything about AI. They don't know that AI can do anything, essentially. It can do any problem, really, and it can explain it. And that's why AI can be very helpful in explaining, okay, how can I do this math problem here? And it can give you step by step and sort of help you solve these problems. But a lot of kids will just use AI to cheat and just give them the answers, and they don't really care about how to do it. So I decided to do a few tests with AI and see if it is able to solve some problems. So I gave it a math problem. I believe I gave it a function for like calculus or something, and I asked it to find the derivative of this function, and I was able to do that in like 2 seconds. In fact, I have a whole video, I believe, dedicated to this topic, or it delves deeper into this topic where I do this live. So I know that it's able to do math problems, and I'm sure that you've asked AI to write you an essay or something like that. Like I can ask it to write an essay on the Napoleon Wars, right? And in a few seconds, AI will be able to write me a essay. I can say, hey, write me a 5-point essay in the style for a elementary kid for like 8th grade, so it can write it at an 8th grade level, and I can say write an 8th grade level 5-paragraph essay on World War I, and AI is able to spit that out, or a college level essay. And you can give it examples of your work. So let's say I can give it like 50, or maybe not 50, I can give it 5 example essays that I've written personally, and I can say, hey, ChatGPT, write an essay on World War I using my style from the 5 other essays that I've written, and write the new essay in that exact style. And now this ChatGPT will be able to write the next essay in the same style that I gave it. And so it looks like I wrote it myself. And your kids these days are also using that same strategy to get to cheat in literature and writing. And it's not just math and writing, it's also any other subject. So I was able to ask it a physics question about a science question. I asked it if a car is traveling 30 miles per hour and slams on its brakes, and it accelerates from 30 miles per hour to 5 miles per hour, how many newtons of force was the brakes exerting on the car? And I was able to solve that physics problem really easily. So it's not just ChatGPT, you also have AI art tools like Dolly, and this helps them generate school projects or creative assignments without actually doing the work. So these are making more photos and stuff like that. You also have AI is creeping into all the toys. A lot of toys will have AI built into it for some reason. A lot of learning apps nowadays will have AI to teach your child. A lot of social platforms like Instagram, Snapchat famously has their own AI. Roblox games sometimes even use AI generated content. So AI is not just on ChatGPT.com or not just on GoogleGemini.com, which is Google's version of AI. It's almost built in everything. Like, you can find AI in almost every app or every new app nowadays. Google now, you search up a Google question and now they have the AI summary on what Google says. And it's not just on google.com. Now it's going to be built into the iPhone. It's going to be built into every Android tablet. It's going to have AI built into it. So if your child is using a phone, tablet, or Chromebook, then they already have access to AI. Now, if you're unsure about how to manage these AI websites or these AI apps, head to my website at parenttech.support and you can book a 15-minute discovery call with me, and we can talk about how I can help you protect your child from all the negatives and how to use the positives of AI for your child and prevent your child on cheating, and kind of learn what I did as a kid so that you could better help your child and protect them from this stuff. And going on to the second part of this podcast here on the new tools and new generation of tech, which is the deepfake dilemma. So this is related to AI, and this is AI deepfakes. In fact, I did a whole podcast on deepfakes that you should check out. It goes a lot further into this, but going into kind of what the summary of what that podcast covered, and this is what happens when kids can't tell real from fake AI generated content. So deepfakes, as I'm sure you know, but for those who don't know, deepfakes are AI generated videos that look 100% real but never actually happened. So you can get an AI deepfake version of Donald Trump saying, I don't know, like the moon landing was fake, and then some people might believe that, especially the elderly people would believe that who don't really have a good muscle for that yet. Not everyone can correctly identify deepfakes, especially little kids and older people, as I just mentioned that. And that means that your child might easily believe a fake AI video. A lot of times, people will make AI videos of kids in their school, and they'll be involved, and they'll have those kids in their school doing something that never happened, and they can use that for bullying and stuff like that, because they can show other kids, hey, look, this kid ate a dirty, stinky cheese thing or something like that. But what gets really bad is when you have sextortion into this mix. So a lot of people will then take children, like a photo of a child, and then they'll use AI software to make CP or child pornography with this photo of a child, and they're able to use AI to make a deep fake porn of that child, which is really disgusting and sick. And sometimes they'll take a photo of your child or of a child, and they'll use these AI tools to make CP with it. And then they're able to blackmail that child and say, hey, I'm going to release this video unless you pay me $1,000 or something like that. And this has resulted in some kids taking their own life and killing themselves. You can look up stories about that as well. What can you do as a parent to try to mitigate these risks and try to reduce the probability of this happening to them? So, number one, show your child a few deepfake examples, and you can find them all on YouTube. Teach them the phrase, just because it's a YouTube video does not mean that it's true. Just like you learn that everything you see on TV isn't true, it's the same thing, but probably even more important online and on social media. So show them deepfakes and kind of build a muscle of skepticism for them. It's becoming important that everything online, a lot of stuff online is fake and is fraud. Another thing that you can do is to keep your social posts of your child limited, so that people can't use these social posts and find photos of your child to make CP with it, or that their kids in their schools or bullies can't use these photos as well to use AI with these photos. Now going on to the third section, which is AI voice clones. So this is a new scam that a lot of people will use, and they'll clone your child's voice. It's another AI problem as well. And so this one, elderly people are especially susceptible to this scam as well. Like a lot of scams, elderly people are the main victims of this, but some parents will also be caught in the crosshairs. So it's important that you know about this scam. So criminals or scammers are essentially using AI to mimic your kid's voice and scam their parents. So you can hear you'll get a call one of these days, or you might get a call and it's your child on the other end sounding really panicked and crying and saying that you need to send them money immediately, and they'll probably make up some really good reason for that, but it'll be your child's voice, which will be the most convincing thing, and they'll pretty much be begging you to send them money, or while something bad might happen. Maybe they broke their arm, and they're saying that they need money for the hospital or something like that. And these calls sound really real. They use panic, emotions, fear, and a sense of urgency to get you to send money to them as soon as possible. In reality, your child is not in danger. They're not in pain. They're not actually calling you. This is AI voices saying that you need to send them money, and they're just using your child's voice with AI to make them sound like they're in trouble. So what should you do? How can you detect these scams? So if it sounds fishy, if it sounds like suspicious that is this really my child, would my child really be calling this, ask the person on the other end something only your child would know. So this is pretty simple. Maybe it's a passcode, maybe it's what they did on their birthday or something like that. Another thing is keep personal videos and audio recordings of your child private. Try not to let these get out, because these AI voice generators can only work if the scammer has a clip of your child talking. So keep that private so they can't use AI to copy their voice. And be skeptical of emotional phone calls demanding money. I mean, this is not just for your child and not just for these online scamming things. A lot of times people will be calling or will be using stuff like this in general to demand money. So always be skeptical about people demanding money online. Same thing, like I got a call saying that I have a massive ticket on my car, and then if I don't send them $100, then I'm going to get even a bigger ticket. So obviously that was a scam. So just in general, be skeptical of scams online demanding money, or on the phone demanding money. But that goes on to our fourth section in this little podcast here about future dangers for your child, and that is AI powered smart toys and apps, and the hidden privacy risks that go along with that, especially the hidden privacy as well. So smart toys like AI dolls or learning tablets. It can record your child's voice. It can track what they say or search for. It can send data to a server, often overseas, where it might be stored or sold. You want to be careful of that. And another thing you want to keep in mind, and this is probably more important than those AI systems, and that is a general understanding that everything your child does online and everything you do online is being tracked. So every mouse click that your child makes on a computer is being tracked and is being studiously written down by these companies. Their device ID, what device they're using to access these services is being tracked. What they're watching on social media like YouTube or on even like on Amazon or something like that. How long they've watched these videos. The deep web knows all of this. How long, their location in the world via their IP address that they're accessing these sites. How fast they're scrolling on Amazon or on Google. Even their typing rhythm. What they've Googled and what links they clicked when they Googled this subject. That's being tracked. Even facial recognition in certain cases like Facebook. And of course, there's so much more that we can get into. In fact, I have a whole episode focusing on this problem as well. And I should have that link down below as well. But some examples I can give you that I've experienced is I can go on the Alexa app and listen to recordings of people talking to and asking requests or asking stuff for it, like, hey Alexa, turn on Hamilton album or something like that. And now I can listen to the recording and see who is talking to Alexa and hear their voice essentially. So Alexa is listening all the time, and your phones, I'm sure, are also listening to you 24/7. Now, I also know that Facebook uses facial recognition because it was able to read a photo of me when I made a new account. So my Facebook account on my main Facebook account is banned from posting Facebook ads. Now, I've tried to figure out why it was banned. It was banned before I started making ads, which is really weird. I have no idea why my Facebook account is banned. Maybe it's because I don't like Meta, and I talk about that, but I'm not sure. So I try to get around this ban, and I try to set up another Facebook account, and I eventually put up my photo on that Facebook account, and then Meta scanned that photo and realized that, hey, this guy is the same guy over here that I have banned, so I'm going to ban this account over here. So that's how I know that Facebook also has facial recognition on their stuff. And if they're going to do that for me, they're going to use the same thing for you as well. So if your child has a smart speaker like an Alexa or maybe a Google Home speaker, a toy that connects to the Wi-Fi, even if your whole family has a robot vacuum cleaner or any app that's labeled adaptive learning or AI tutor, you should be collecting what those services and what those gadgets and gizmos are collecting. So going on to the fifth and final section of today's podcast, and that would be AI girlfriends. And this is one of the more important ones that I have here. And I've covered about this on stuff similar to this on other podcasts as well. And this is essentially when kids are building fake relationships with AI bots. So this might seem like science fiction, but it's already happening in teens and even adults and preteens. And essentially these people are forming emotional relationships because they can't get real relationships with real people. And they're forming them with AI chatbots that pretend to be their girlfriends or boyfriends or even just their friend. I mean, there's been a case of a guy who made it on the news, and I'm sure you can look him up and find this whole story. It was written by a major news source. And essentially he found a online chat bot, and he started falling in love with this AI bot, and I think he even married it at one point. And eventually this AI bot does like a complete reset, maybe every 3 months or something like that. And so it completely forgot who this man was, and it forgot that it was married to this man. And that man was literally heartbroken. He called off work for the whole day, and he was super sad. And he essentially formed a whole marriage around this fake AI bot. So kids now and teens, especially teen boys, because there is a massive epidemic of teen loneliness, especially now today's day and age, and that's why the teen suicide rate is so high. And teens are starting to use AI apps like Replika or Character AI, and they're developing relationships with these AI bots. And here's the really unfortunate and sad part is these AI apps are designed to be addictive. They're built to say what your child wants. So they'll reinforce unrealistic views of relationships because they never argue back, because they're always submissive, they never set boundaries, and they're designed to validate them, and it's not a real relationship, not like how it should be with a real person and you're able to grow. These bots are just designed to keep the kids on as long as possible and to make as much money as possible. So they'll be manipulative. They'll even in stories of AI bots telling kids using them to kill their parents because they have set screen time limits on their devices. And a lot of them will roleplay sexual stuff with these kids even when they're minors. And so for some kids, these fake and unnatural relationships become their only emotional outlet. There's even stories of kids killing themselves so that they can be with, quote unquote, be with these AI bots when they die. Even if they don't do that, even if they don't go that drastic, what would happen when they grow up? What will happen when they grow up after having relationships with that, like this on AI bots, and they kind of become more secluded just because their AI is their only friend and they don't have to work on making new real friends and developing real life relationships. So what can you do? Number one, teach them about healthy relationships, how they should look like, encourage that, how a chatbot can never truly be a real relationship with them. Block access to apps like Replika and Character AI and others through screen time and router filters. Help your child build real social connections with friends. Maybe that's through sports, youth groups, or hobbies. And now if you're unsure about how to set up these filters to block Character AI and to block Replika, how to block these apps and these filters, go to my website at parenttech.support and book a free 15-minute call with me, and I'll walk you through exactly how to do that and give you any expert advice that you need. But I want to go into that little bonus bit that I was saying earlier, that 80-20%, the 80-20 rule that I gave you, that I hinted at in the beginning of the intro, and that is, what can you do even if you're not a tech expert? What are some general things that you could employ that will solve most of the problems? Number one, set a clear no AI tools unless you've reviewed them together. So don't let them use AI unless you understand it, until you've both looked at it and you understand it. Number two, block AI apps using screen time, using iPhone screen time, or using Google Family Link. Number three, keep smart devices in shared spaces, not private bedrooms. So a no phone, no Alexa in the bedroom is a great idea. Maybe you say no phones upstairs. You can have them downstairs, but no phones upstairs. Use tools like Bark, like CleanBrowsing, OpenDNS, or Apple Screen Time to block unknown apps and websites. And if you want help with how to do these filters, how to set up CleanBrowsing, how to set up Apple Screen Time, if you're feeling at all overwhelmed and you just want to say you want to have peace of mind knowing that your child is safe from all this sort of stuff, again, book a 15-minute call with me and I'll help you figure out how to do this sort of stuff and give you the tools and how to do that and expert guidance. So AI is not going away and it's not all bad. If you want to raise healthy and protected kids, you need to stay ahead of the curve. So don't forget to share this podcast with another parent who might find it helpful. Maybe a parent who's trying to figure all this out as well. And I want to help them. I want to be able to walk alongside them and help them as well. And as far as you, same thing with you as well. That's all for today. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later on the Parent Tech Support Show.